Hello. Today I'm going to give you a combination book review and kind of a promotion for a book that I read. It's called Nobody Walks. It's Bringing My Brother's Killers to Justice by Dennis M. Walsh. I checked this book out from the La Crescenta County Public Library here in Southern California. I read it and enjoyed it. The author is a criminal attorney whose brother did not achieve such a high station in life. His brother was more like kind of a low-level drug dealer and drug user and petty thief type, and who hung out with such people. And sadly, his brother was killed, murdered. And the author was afraid that because of who his brother was and who his brother hung out with, that the police would not avidly investigate the case. So the author decided he had better begin to contact the people around the case. In other words, people who knew his brother and knew who his brother associated with. In other words, people who were sort of kind of low life types like his brother. And the author would talk to them and then encourage them to go to the police with what they knew. Now, I've read quite a few true crime books, probably 60 or 70, or have closely skimmed them. And this book was quite different from all the others I've read because it's written by someone who was actually affected personally by the crime. In most cases, you get an author who has no connection to the crime, just goes in and interviews people around the crime and then writes a book. So, although this makes this book sad, it gives it a different feeling from other books. And then, of course, it's different too because he isn't a professional investigator. He's not a policeman or a detective, but he does do some of those things that a police detective might do, only he does them as an amateur. He does say that since he's a criminal attorney, he knows a lot about criminals, and he thinks that makes it easier for him to do this amateur detective work. He doesn't necessarily recommend it to other people. Like if your profession was like a second grade school teacher, he might not say that you should go talk to a bunch of criminals. But anyway, those two aspects made it interesting. Then the third aspect that made it interesting was him specifically being a criminal attorney. And I really haven't put into words yet what that brought to the book. But he is an intelligent guy. I mean, most attorneys are intelligent. They've had 8 years of university. And he knows the criminal justice system from a different perspective than a jailer or a police officer or other occupations. So, and then he knows the law. He understands eventually there is a trial. He understands the kind of behind the scenes of the trial. Anyway, this gives it a particular perspective that's interesting. Maybe if you read it, you'll be able to put into words better than I am what he brings to it that's special because of his profession. So that's it. If you like true crime books, you very likely would enjoy this one. In a way, since most of us aren't police officers, we can sort of put ourselves into this guy's shoes because he is an amateur and most of us would be amateurs. So that's it. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy.